Chapter 8. I sat in class and daydreamed. The school day was almost over and my brain was tired. Miss Bear focused in on me. Eb, did you hear me? Your writing assignment is due tomorrow. Don't forget. Spring is upon us, so everyone is to write about what they like best about spring. I just nodded shyly. The bell rang and I tried to leave. I didn't quite make it. Miss Bear stopped me and gently put her arm around me. Eb, do you even have an idea about what your paper will be about? No, I said. I'm sorry, but I don't have a clue. Miss Bear replied, well, you'd better put your mind to work and come up with an idea. I know you can do it. Now run along. I left school and still didn't have a clue about what I liked best about spring. On the way home, I passed by Holling's place as usual. He stood there with a big smile on his face. Come on, Eb, follow me. I followed Holling behind the barn. There stood a mule that was attached to a plow. The mule was huge and impressive. Wow, where did you get that mule, Holling? Holling said, I bought it from a man at the hardware store. I've just been paying people to plow for me, but not anymore. I already had a plow and a harrow that belonged to my dad and me. My old dad could really work a mule. After he passed on, I sold my mule since I couldn't work it. Now I have you with two good hands, so I figured that I needed a mule again. I hope that I can count on you to plow for me. I agreed. I'll be glad to plow. Holling smiled. Good. It's still March, so let's get some taters in the ground before dark. I put my school books down and went to work. Holling walked beside me at first and gave me pointers. Then he stood back and watched me work. The mule worked hard and didn't give me any trouble. Holling looked content as he watched. The smell of the freshly plowed ground was nice, and I enjoyed working the earth. Robins flew in and grabbed some of the earthworms that the plow turned up. The potato patch was small, and the mule made quick work of the plowing. Holling said, Okay, Eb, let's get that plow off and hook up this harrow. Holling helped me with the harrow, and he worked hard and fast to hitch it up. The mule worked the harrow and got the ground crumbled and ready to work. Afterwards, Holling rubbed the mule affectionately in appreciation. Okay, let's get to work on these seed taters. Here, I got you this at the hardware store. A man needs a good knife if he's gonna plant taters. Holling handed me a brand new pocket knife. It had dark wood on the sides and didn't have a scratch. I opened it and looked at the shiny blade. Thanks, Holling. You're welcome. Let's get to work. And when it's time to harvest, you get half of the taters. I'm sure your family can use them. Yeah, we can, and we'll be grateful. Okay, Eb, get a tater and cut it into 4 equal pieces. Make sure each piece has an eye. That new knife should do a good job. Holling and I sat on the ground and cut up the seed potatoes. I watched him out of the corner of my eye to make sure that I was doing it right. And sure enough, my new knife did a great job. Now, take that hoe and cut out some rows. We're going to plant these taters about 3 inches deep and 1 foot apart. Make sure the eyes are facing up. I cut some rows in the freshly turned soil. Then I got on my knees and planted the potatoes. Holling got down and planted too. I again watched him to make sure that I was doing it right. Holling said, you can use the hoe to cover the taters if you want to. No, I said, I think I'll use my hands. I like getting in the dirt. Holling laughed. Okay, but I'm using the hoe. We finished the planting and I was a dirty boy. The sun had fallen behind the trees and the trees made a nice silhouette. Holling took off his hat and rubbed his head. Thanks, Eb. I couldn't have done it without you. We'll be eating some good taters later on. Hard work now pays off later. I returned. My thanks to you. I had fun, Holling. I have a paper due tomorrow on what I like best about spring. I think that I have something to write about now.